want to talk with you about a missing mindset. This is honestly kind of a weird thing to think about because most people are saying positive thoughts, positive thoughts, positive thoughts, refuse to lose, all that sort of thing. But for me, as an athlete, as an archer, the reality was I miss. And I miss more frequently than what people expect. And honestly, especially this time of year when I'm restarting my training, I'm coming indoors, I'm eliminating the outside variables of weather and wind and distractions, honestly, and I'm just coming in and I'm focusing on shots, focusing on just making good shots. And as my training progresses, I start adding in another arrow and adding in another arrow, so I'm adding reps. But one of the things before any of that begins, and I start getting my mind around training again, one of the things I want to do is I want to be realistic, and I want to have a mindset that is okay with missing, because the reality is I do it. And even though I might put 3 awesome arrows down there, if all of a sudden I have 2 wild ones like this where I've made some type of a mechanical or technique error that has caused this, well, now it gives me something to work on, and it also starts to help me realize when I'm fatigued, when my process is breaking down, where am I most likely to miss? Because here lately I've kind of been falling out of my release and my follow through, and that arrow tends to go that way. And when I see it, am I upset that my 300 that I was working on is now gone away and I've missed? Certainly, but it also doesn't sting as bad when I've had the mindset from the beginning that this happens and use it as a learning tool. I've always said I had to learn how to lose before I learned how to win, and this is one of the things that applies to that, is just having a mindset that you're not a robot, you're not a shooting machine, and in fact, even my shooting machines sometimes, if I don't do everything right, they miss. So you have to embrace these errors and figure out the pattern of those errors, and reapply them to your training so that you can start to minimize this. At the beginning of the year, if throughout the course of a day you have 2 or 3 that you're missing and you're just not getting that 300, the more pressure, especially self-applied pressure, that you are adding to yourself, it might intensify that. Whereas if you're embracing it and understanding, okay, I know this could happen, and when it does, I want to know why, and I want to focus on those details. When you do that, that's when these flaws start to become perfection, and your archery game is going to go to a whole new level, because that pressure that you're applying to yourself is going to be minimized. Your accuracy is going to be maximized.